traders? Welcome to Thursday's market Sitrep. Waiting for Godot, right? That's essentially what this market has been doing all week. We had some, ADP jobs numbers out yesterday that were relatively good. Who cares? ADP numbers I've seen more often than not even come close to what the real jobs numbers are on Friday. So this market is really wallowing sideways, waiting for tomorrow's jobs report. Now, we got some reports out today. We saw non-farm productivity and labor costs. Not necessarily great news because, higher labor costs usually get passed on to whom? You, me, the consumer. Weekly unemployment claims came in a little later than expected, so obviously a little better news. But again, fourth quarter productivity, that quarter over quarter that we just looked at, fell 1.9%. Decline still the biggest since 2008. Okay, so yeah, it's a little less than originally estimated. Obviously, the 500-pound heads were looking at about 1.6%, but still, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? So still not seeing incredibly positive green shoots out of the economy. This isn't going to be market moving data today. Market moving data is going to come tomorrow. So going to be a very big day in the markets, and it's all going to happen, most of it's going to happen before the open. Non-farm payroll, the unemployment rate, average hourly earnings, wholesale inventories. We're going to get something this afternoon at 3 p.m. Consumer credit may not move the market that much because, like I said, we're all kind of just sitting here waiting for the jobs report tomorrow morning. Let's talk about that. Jobs report. If it is good news, now let's look at Bizarro World. There's two ways to look at this. Now, yesterday, when let's close down our radar scope here. Initially, ADP numbers came out strong, and then the market moved laterally. Why? Because when you think about it, folks, the Bernanke, the Fed chief, who is responsible for this market, there's nothing, corporate earnings are okay, and things are okay. We've come out of the other side of this financial tsunami kind of in one piece. But the main reason we've come out of this thing in one piece is one man, Bernanke. This wealth effect, this creating of liquidity, this $3 trillion that he has on his balance sheet, and the $85 billion a month that he's adding to it has put us up here. That's what's going on. Now, he has finally given us a target. Instead of coming out and saying, I'm going to keep rates low for an extended period of time and the market scratching their heads, he has said, I'm going to keep rates low until we see unemployment drift below 6.5%. Well, guess what, folks? If we have a good jobs number yesterday, the market's initially going to react like this. That's great. The market's like a Labrador retriever, squirrel or shiny red ball. That's going to be good news. A good jobs number is good news until traders wake up and their second Starbucks hits and they realize that good jobs numbers is bad for the market because the Bernanke is going to pull the punch bowl away sooner rather than later. Remember what happened a couple weeks ago, guys, or what was it, last week with the FOMC minute, with the FOMC announcement, when they kind of sort of hinted maybe possibly sometime ever pulling the punch bowl away? What the hell happened in the market? We had a massive sell-off. And then he soothed concerns by sitting in front of Congress and the Senate and saying, well, that's probably down the road. But even the mere hint that the guy was going to take away the punch bowl sent our market into a tizzy. So tomorrow's going to be interesting to see how the market reacts to good jobs numbers versus bad jobs numbers. Bad jobs numbers, in my opinion, means the market rallies. And if you think that's weird in Bizarro World, you need to be trading with Top Gun options because we think intelligently, we think strategically about the markets. Because good jobs numbers means the Bernanke is going to stop printing money sooner. Bad jobs numbers means this party keeps going on. The party keeps going on. It keeps going on until when? Until it doesn't and this thing implodes. And when we come down, guys, it's going to be a hell of a ride. And this whole, Dow up here at historic levels, guys, it's really getting old. You can watch Comedy Central and get all their coverage. But, folks, if Google were in the Dow, we'd be up at Dow 15,000. GM was booted from the Dow. I forget, wherever the hell GM was booted from the Dow. If GM was still on the Dow, we'd be down at about 12,000. Or what about Apple? In the past year, Apple's imploded. If Apple were part of the Dow, we'd be at Dow 13,000. So these arbitrary record levels, yeah, they're interesting to hit and it gives CNBC something to talk about. They don't mean anything. Literally, they don't mean anything to market. Psychologically, they mean some stuff to the market, right? Hey, we're at all-time highs. I'm telling you guys, we are due for a pullback, and I have my hedges in, and I'm ready for all contingencies here. All eyes are on the jobs report tomorrow, okay? It just depends on the jobs report. I'm going to tell you, after seeing this run let's just look at the past 5 days. There's the Bernanke saying, God forbid, I actually, let this economy fight for itself. And then look what happens. We just keep going up and up and up. A jobs report that's good, I think, is going to be an excuse for this market to sell off. And I have some weekly positions, a bear call spread on the SPX right now that I need a little bit of a pullback in the SPX. I think we get it. If we don't get a pullback tomorrow and we go up further, I really think next week is going to be nuts. Okay, so stand by. All right, so I'll be back tomorrow with my take on the jobs report, bright and early, for our Friday market wrap up over at Wealth Creation Investing. So get ready to either roll inverted and figure out this market that good news is bad news and bad news is good news, or is good news going to be good news and bad news bad news? We'll see you tomorrow morning. Okay, have a great day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge.